because there are actually several versions of the Abhidhamma which have come down through the textual transmission. There is the Theravada version, which prevails in the Theravada school, which is a form of Buddhism that is practiced in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos. Yeah, there was another school that put a lot of emphasis on the Abhidhamma called the Sarvastivada school, which prevailed in the early centuries of the Common Era. It prevailed in the northwest of India, in the area that's now Kashmir, and they had their own Abhidhamma system, which is quite different from the Theravada version of the Abhidhamma. When I try to read the Sarvastivada Abhidhamma, I feel like I'm an English speaker, as I am, who suddenly found himself in Germany and trying to get around with his English in Germany. And then there seems to have been a third school of the Abhidhamma, which was, it spread in the far northwest, in the area that now corresponds to Pakistan and eastern Afghanistan. And they left an Abhidhamma text which is preserved only in Chinese. It's called, the reconstructed title is the Abhidhamma, the Sariputra Abhidhamma Shastra. I think it would be something like Sali for Abhidhamma Lun, something like that. Okay, but the significant difference between these three schools of Abhidhamma is that the Sarvastivada school doesn't exist anymore. Its Abhidhamma system is preserved mainly in Chinese translation, a few texts preserved in Sanskrit, maybe some Abhidhamma commentaries in Tibetan, but there's no school which is practicing that form of Abhidhamma. And the school that followed the Sariputra Abhidhamma Shastra again vanished centuries ago. But the Theravada school still exists and still studies and practices the Abhidhamma, even today. According to modern scholarship, and I have to say I agree with modern scholarship, the Abhidhamma is a body of teachings which emerged through a gradual process of evolution. And to see how we get from the Nikaya teaching to the Abhidhamma, I just collected some texts. Okay, the word Abhidhamma occurs in the Sutta Pitaka, in the collection of discourses, but we never see in the Sutta Pitaka a statement to the effect, the Buddha was teaching the Abhidhamma to the monks. We never find anything like that. But rather, the word Abhidhamma always occurs in the context of discussions that monks are holding amongst themselves. And so to support this point, I've collected a few passages. Okay, so this is from Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 32. Here, the Venerable Mahamoggallana is speaking to Sariputta, and he's describing two monks are holding a discussion on Abhidhamma. They ask one another questions, and they answer one another's questions, and they do not stumble in their discussion, and so their Dhamma discussion flows on smoothly. And so for those who know the Pali or are interested in Pali, we see the expression here that two monks are discussing an Abhidhamma discussion, or holding an Abhidhamma discussion. Okay, another passage. Okay, in this passage it says that several elder monks had assembled after their meal, and they were sitting, holding a discussion on the Abhidhamma. And then there was one rather irritating monk named Chitta Hatti Sariputta who kept on interrupting the discussion of those elders as they discussed the Abhidhamma. And then another statement I took from Anguttara Nikaya, okay, when a monk is asked a question about the Abhidhamma or the Abhivinaya, he answers and he does not stumble in his conversation. So from this, it seems that we can draw the inference that Abhidhamma meant discussions about the Dhamma that took place between the monks. And probably these discussions would have taken the form of monks sort of testing one another by asking, one monk asking the other questions, and then the other having to answer those questions. And probably as time went by, those questions and discussions became increasingly more technical and analytical.